Hey everybody, welcome back to my Eurovision React Review channel. So I am currently doing a series on my channel whereby I'm currently on a break from work, and so what I'm doing is I'm traveling around Europe, and for each country that I visited I have listened to, reflected and ranked the songs from that country at Eurovision. So I've already done Hungary, I've already done Poland, I've already done Croatia. So the fourth country that I've been, because I've now left it, I'm in my fifth country in fact. This don't fall off, shame. This is the view from my balcony where I'm recording this video. The weather's not too bad. They did say it was going to rain, so maybe I should be outside enjoying the sun before it does rain, but no. Let's do this first. Fourth country that I've been to, which I absolutely loved, was Bosnia and Herzegovina. Like, I had limited to no expectations before I went there. So from Split in Croatia, I took a bus to Mostar. So I think when people think about Bosnia and Herzegovina in tourism, they envisage Mostar, the infamous bridge. Just the feel of the city is brilliant. I had such a good time in Mostar. Yeah, I was there for a couple of days.
Jedan svijet, kad si drugi odu, čuvam te dok sam živ.
Yeah, I was there for a couple of days. While I was there, I did a day tour. So I've written these places down: to Blagaj, which is the monastery, Krvice Falls, which is a beautiful area where people can go and swim, and Positej, which is this really old kind of village town on the mountainside. Yeah. That was an interesting day actually. So when I first arrived, there was a girl from Poland, Eva, who was cool, and then there was another guy that turned up called Chris, who was from Chile but lives in Helsinki, and he looked at me and was like, "I recognise you," and I was like, "Oh, okay, I don't know why." And he was like, "Have you ever been on a cruise?" And I was like, "No, I don't earn that sort of money." And then I think we already got into the car by this point with our tour guide, Sadad. And then out of nowhere behind me, he was like, "I know, you have a YouTube channel." To which that was the kind of theme of the day. I think Sadad thought that my channel was more popular than it was, because he was just like, "Oh, you know, I'm gonna release an album soon. I'd really like you to review it on your channel." And I was like, "Okay, well, it's not a big channel and it's also really niche." But by the end of the day, he did say, "How many subscribers have you got?" And I was like, "Just over 4,000. And then you could see he was like, "Oh, so you're a small fish." I was like, "Yeah, I did say from the beginning of the day." But I think because he thought that this random guy from Chile who lives in Helsinki recognised me, that it was bigger than it was. Shout out to Sadad. He was an amazing tour guide actually. Such good fun, such a nice guy. Nice guy. And then from Mostar, I took a bus to Sarajevo. I deliberately went to Sarajevo just to see Alma, on YouTube known as the Balkan guy. So we've been friends for a while, and I didn't have any intentions of going to Sarajevo. I went just to see him, but I'm so glad I did. Sarajevo is the best city. Tako trebam tvoje tijelo,
kad oči zatvori, srce se u tebe klelo, kako da ti oprostim.
Nemam kome da se vratim, samo tebi vjerujem. Dugo već ću sve da platim, na ljubav se zaklinjem. Mjesto kapetan da budem, biro sam da budem pirat. Mjesto sretan da budem, biro sam tugu u inat. Moja priča je rulet, ulažem, ne znam kasirat. Njenim očima ukret, više se ne znam ne smijat. Znam me mali toplinama nakon čaše dvije vina. Al ona nije ta što će mi sutra roditi sina. Opet nijedna ne zna me tako magično dirat. Opet tragično biram jer džavo ne da mi mira.
Ljubav je začarani krug, svako dođe na svoj red, svako plati svoj dug. Ljubav je sve što imamo, svako bira svoj grijeh, jedno drugom praštamo, praštamo.
City. I would move there tomorrow if chances could arise which would allow me to do that. It's just got an amazing feel. Everybody that I met in Sarajevo was lovely, and there generally is, I mean, there's a sign that literally says it, east meets west. So obviously historically Sarajevo, influence of the Ottoman Empire, influence of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, like it's just an amazing city. It's just got an amazing feel to it, which I know some people would say, based on people's knowledge of recent history, is quite surprising, but like I felt super safe, everyone was super lovely. I can't kind of promote Sarajevo enough. It's a shame there isn't even direct flights from Milan to Sarajevo. It's quite a hard city to get to, unless you're coming from the Middle East apparently. Because yeah, a lot of people from the Middle East go to Sarajevo in the summer because it's too hot there. And then from Sarajevo I took a bus. All of these buses are in excess of 6 hours. Like on the map it's like 150 kilometers. You're like, that can't take too long. It does, because Bosnia's landscape is just mountainous. Like if I could get a job working for Bosnia and Herzegovina tourism industry, I would, because there's so much natural beauty there. It's a beautiful country, so taking the coach, you're kind of spoiled because you just see the amazing landscape that Bosnia has and has to offer. So I took a bus to Trebinje, which isn't too far from the Croatian and Montenegro border. So I know some people go there and station themselves there because it's cheaper to stay there than Dubrovnik in Croatia, and so you can kind of take day trips. It's a really cute town actually. It's on a river. The river's beautiful. It was beautiful, and they've made this man-made swimming pool from the river. By this point I think I hadn't eaten out for a while because I am literally putting on so much weight. Like traveling, I don't think I haven't done this enough. So particularly Poland and Hungary, I was eating, I was drinking, and then it didn't take me too long to realise, Shane, you're putting on weight. So I tried to hold back a little bit. But in Trebinje, I did a bit of fine dining. And I say fine dining, it was fine dining, wine and meals and stuff. And it didn't come ever more than like 15 euros. That was a great place. So yeah, I think I had about 10 days in Bosnia and Herzegovina. I just had the best time. So let's get to the point of the video. Bosnia and Herzegovina at Eurovision. So it's been a while since we've had them. So what year are we this year? 2022. Yeah, so the last time we had them was 2016. So I think doing this actually and revisiting these songs, I don't think I'm alone in saying like I really want Bosnia to come back. I think actually I hadn't properly acknowledged that I think some of my favourite songs of all time have come from Bosnia and Herzegovina. They've sent some interesting ones but some of my favourites come from Bosnia and Herzegovina. So yeah, same format as my previous videos. I am going to go through a recap video of all the songs from 1993, I think was the first year, up until 2016. I'm going to say a little bit about what I think about those songs, and I'll tell you where they rank in my top 19, I think. I think they've had 19 songs. I will double check. So, same as before, I'm going to use Schlager Lucas, who's a legend and who has done compilation videos for all songs from all countries at Eurovision. Saves me so much time, so I'm extremely grateful for him for this. I'm also going to use my phone as well. So obviously, as I was listening to these songs as I was going around Bosnia and Herzegovina, I made a few notes, either kind of general thoughts I had, or kind of when I watched the live versions, I like to read the comments to see what other people think. And I've noted down a few kind of things that I agree with, or things that I found slightly amusing. Also, I'm playing this and it's quite a compact area. I think people are going to be like, what is that guy doing? But
svijeta je noćas u Bosni ostaje da bolu prkosi i nije me strah stati pred zid. Ja znam da zapjevam, ja znam da pobjedim, sva bol svijeta.
So yeah, a lot of the songs from Bosnia and Herzegovina aren't on Spotify, which did limit the amount of time that I could listen to them. I don't think this song was on Spotify, actually, come to... okay, so did a bit of research about songs pre-1999. So, interesting doing research on this one. So it doesn't escape me, the year's 1993. So at this point, evidently, if you know anything about recent history, then you know things are not good in Bosnia and Herzegovina. I did read that for him to go to Eurovision this year, he actually had to run effectively several hours to make it to Eurovision. He actually had to kind of take a tunnel to be able to get to the airport, because Sarajevo was under siege at that point. And in fact, the conductor didn't quite make it, so I didn't realise this. So the current conductor right now is the conductor for Ireland. He was the Irish conductor because Bosnia and Herzegovina was unable to get their conductor there. It was really important for me to go away and find the translation to this song, obviously knowing it's 1993. I mean, it is about war. There is an element, or it is overtly about a cry for help, which regrettably, as we know, wasn't necessarily heard. Well, not in 1993 anyway, not to the level that it needed to be. It's interesting, isn't it? So in 1993, a song about, crying for help, war related, and then we're in, 2022, although Ukraine's song this year was not about war, obviously there was an attraction to that song this year, knowing what people knew, the fact that Ukraine was, being attacked against its own will. And so for it's kind of interesting comparison that this came 16th and that won. I know that this song meant a lot to Bosnians at the time. I did want to know a little bit more about him. He's a politician today, but I did see a side note, and take it as you will, like, no one can make any judgment unless you're in that scenario. I don't think he returned to Bosnia after Eurovision, after he was able to escape. I don't think he went back to Bosnia until it was safe. I actually think this is quite a good song, but I am in the knowledge that once I knew all of that, and then when I re-listened to the song, it then started going up and up and up in my estimation. So I've got this in at 9th. I'm gonna have a burnt neck by this. Yeah, so she comes back, doesn't she, in 1997, I think. It's crazy that they're still participating, despite the fact that, Sarajevo is under siege at this point. Obviously, we've got a state that is experiencing a horrific time. I did read somewhere that I believe that he was in, so the singer, Dejan, was in Sarajevo at the time, and I think he was in fact part of the fighting. And as a result of that, with that knowledge, when you watch it, you can, I mean, someone has put in the comments, you can see the sadness in his eyes, because yeah, by 1994, just obviously think about all the things that he'd seen. What I do love though is she holds him throughout. Like, she doesn't let him go. He does look very timid, but I think that might be due to the fact at the beginning, so this song got a huge round of applause, like a 33 seconds I think in total, and as a result of that, he missed his cue, bless him. He probably couldn't hear due to the cheering, so as a result of that, that doesn't surprise me that he might look a bit timid, and maybe they always intended for her to hold him the whole time, but in my head I kind of like the idea that she was looking after him on stage, and that makes him sound like he needed looking after, but take that as you will. Yeah, I can't, so this song's about love, as you can see, Stand By My Side. It's crazy that they're able to sing about love at a time where we know things are just not good in Bosnia and Herzegovina. I've got this song in at 11th. I don't think it's a bad song, but yeah, again, knowing all of this stuff and revisiting this song just adds an extra layer to this song. Yeah, now I'm listening to this, it's better than I thought. Okay, so he is an icon of Yugoslav pop and rock music, Wikipedia tells me. I haven't got really much to say about this song. There isn't enough online to find out about kind of him, this song, in context. So with that, I'm just judging this song on its own and on its own merits. I've got this in at 18th. It doesn't really resonate with me. It didn't do that well, as you can see, it came 19th. Yeah. I think Bosnia and Herzegovina took a while to get into their stride. But someone did put in the comments, luscious and seductive notes. Yeah. It's not exactly bad, but it is a bit dull, right? And actually, whilst I think this song probably does garner some fans, more so than 1995, I felt that there was more of a melody to 1995, so regrettably, this is in my bottom place, 19. It is a little dull. I don't find there's anything. I mean, visually, I have a different experience watching her, but listening to the studio version, not so much. It is a little dull. I do realise in a lot of these Balkan songs, Ljubav features quite a lot as a lyric. Now this song is quite joyful, it's catchy, it's fun, but yeah, I think we have to acknowledge that it's not the best, but no, it's okay. Because at this point I'd listened to obviously 1995, 1996, and I was like, oh, what is 1997 gonna bring? Okay, so I've got this in 15th. It's catchy, it's fun, it's still just a bit basic. Now, 1999 was the first year that I properly watched it. Now, you've got to realise I was a young kid, so there wouldn't have been as much in this song to resonate with me at the time. So as a result of that, it's a song that I pretty much effectively forgot about, I'm not going to lie. It's interesting, actually. So I didn't say anything in the 1997 effort. I think yeah, so they didn't come back in 1998 because that's when they did like an average of the last 5 years points, and it just meant that Bosnia just, obviously, when you compare them to other countries, Bosnia and Herzegovina, they were low down, so they weren't invited to 1998, they were relegated. But we're back now, and I think it gave Bosnia and Herzegovina some time to think, reflect, and send Dino. Dino is huge, has been, is still huge. So interestingly, this song didn't win that year. So Hari Matahari, which we know, and I'll talk about him and them when we get to their song, actually won, but the song was disqualified because it had been played somewhere before. I didn't realise doing research, I did a lot of research on Dino, that he authored the original first national anthem of Bosnia and Herzegovina. Like I said, A, he's huge in Bosnia and Herzegovina, and 2, super talented. I mean, the essence of the song, you can tell he's from Sarajevo because the essence of the song is very much East meets West. And yeah, this is, you know, at a time when Eurovision was about showcasing cultural diversity. And I really do think, even though there is obviously French in this song, particularly the orchestration does reflect my time in Mostar and Sarajevo anyway. I think it's a good effort. Like I said, I was very young when this was played, and I think you've got to be a bit older, I think, to appreciate the artistry of this song. So with that said, and revisiting this song and listening to all of the songs of Bosnia and Herzegovina, I've got this in at 12. If in doubt, wear a beret. Yeah. Ethnic rhythms, which I kind of like, but that's as far as it goes with the song. I remember when I was watching this as a kid. I was still a kid in 2001. Yeah, wasn't a huge fan. I know this song does have fans. It has that bizarre ethnic rhythm twist that people really enjoy. I've got it in at 17th, but I know that this song rocks some people's boats. Okay, so she's singing in Serbian. I think this is the first time we'd heard Serbian since 1992, I think. Might be wrong with that. That could be bad research. The song is nothing groundbreaking. I mean, she seems quite likeable and she gives an energetic performance. Her backing dancers / singers are giving an energetic performance. I think there's a lot of consensus that the movement to English ruined it. It was unnecessary, and actually I read a comment and I re-listened to it again live. Her pronunciation of her English words is not good. There's some of it that's just gobbledygook nonsensical. It's English, but you wouldn't know it. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing groundbreaking, this song. I've got this song in at 14. I loved this song in 2003. I had the CD by this point. As if you watch my Croatia video, you'll know I had the 2002 CD because it was on offer. It was like in a bargain bin. And then 2003, I was like, Mum, can I have the CD? And she's like, oh, I thought you'd outgrown Eurovision. I was like, no. Little did she know in the future I'd have a channel. Eurovision channel. Right, so we've gone from 2002 in Serbian. This is in Croatian. I remember, if anyone had the CD, I'm sure there'll be some people watching this that did. Was anyone disappointed that the version on the CD was in English? I was so annoyed because I got the CD after watching the final and I was like, why is it in English? I mean, the two male vocal backing dancers are standing like security guards, but I've been informed that fits the nature of the song. And actually, someone made a comment, and it's so true, I didn't think of it at the time, that actually there's a lot of similarity between this one and Russia's entry, Northern Girl. Play them back to back, side to side. This is better in my opinion. I am crediting this song on the fact that I loved it at the time, but I couldn't find this on Spotify either. It's so annoying because this is a tune. I've got this in at 4th. I think this is a good song. I'm actually sweating. This is a bad idea. Just as Deen comes on.
Music is what I want.
I'm dripping sweat. Don't dance. It's hard not to.
Music is what I want. Music is what I need. Kiss me, turn me slow up and down. Here we go.
Oh, Deen. How I love this song. This song nearly has a nearly like 1 million viewers, and I think if some people's theory are true that Bosnia sent this song in the hope that it wouldn't win because they couldn't afford to host it, well, by sending him they've created a legend regards to the Eurovision fandom. Like I think he is like goes down as being a true legend. Like this performance is epic. Someone said, which is so true, I get the feeling that music is what he wants and what he needs. Well, yeah. Someone else said, which is true, I'm writing down things that I kind of agree with, but that also made me smile. He's fabulous, and you just want to throw some glitter in the air and scream. True. Someone says this is so wrong that it becomes brilliant. In fact, a lot of people are saying that this song and the performance was slightly ahead of its time, and actually, you know, there is elements of this sound and certainly the production that came later down the years, and I would want to say it did better, but this came 9th. So yeah, a lot of people in the comments said this was sent to Eurovision before this sound and this type of performance was popular. You know, I think we've got to credit the fact that, and if someone did say, Deen has the balls to be himself in the Balkans. In fact, when I was in Sarajevo, like Asado, I was speaking to people. I was like, do you know him? And they were like, no, because I was at a house party thing and someone put this song on and I started singing to it, and he was from Bosnia, and he was like, how do you know this song? And I was like, because I love Eurovision. And I was like, do you know him? He was like, no, not really. So yeah, Deen doesn't live in Bosnia and Herzegovina anymore. He lives in America with, and hopefully I'm not spreading fake news here, with his boyfriend. And that's a whole interesting thing. I remember when he came back in 2016, I did a lot of research about him because I found him very interesting. And you could be really, and rightfully so, like you shouldn't have to say anything about your private life. But it was interesting doing research on him. He was open in his interviews that his private life is not to be discussed. But yeah, he seems very, very happy with the images that I've seen with him and his boyfriend in America. You know, and then someone did write in the comments, which is so true, you know, Deen showed the world that Bosnia and Herzegovina is not just all about sadness and division, which is so true. This is 3 minutes of absolute fun and joy. I think because this song is iconic, I've got this song in at 6th. I think this is a good tune. Oh, is it a good tune? I enjoy it when I watch it. Yeah. I think people have checked in next door, so if they start speaking, then allow it.
Every time you're feeling lonely, I pray this wish is one and only. Sing with me, it's how it should be. For the rest of our lives, come on, call me. Reach the very top and nothing less. United in a song, that's all it takes. If together, so.
Someone did write in the comments, which I thought was quite interesting. This was Hurricane of my generation. I talked about Feminem when I did my Croatia video, and I mentioned the fact that they have reunited, they're back together, so definitely check them out. And I'm going to plug my friend Jordan, who did a cover of this song, which was amazing. Yeah, it's interesting.
Every time you're feeling lonely, our greatest wish is one and only. Sing with me is how it should be.
Yeah, it's interesting. I didn't know at the time, and I didn't think anything of it. I did wonder about the 50 candles thing when I was watching this. I say younger, Shane, you were like 17. I think now you can say young adult, not a kid. You're not a child anymore in 2005. 50 candles on the party cake. I never understood that. I always thought that lyric was a bit crap. But it's to acknowledge 50 years of Eurovision. I did not know that. So credit to them, dedicating their entry to the anniversary of Eurovision. Look, this song is joyous. This song is catchy. catchy. I mean, yes, it's ABBA-esque. I don't think that kind of escaped anyone. The melody is great, the harmonies are great, but we know that from Feminem, right? I remember when they came back with Lako Jesvet, I was a bit confused because they came back for Croatia, right? And actually when you read some of the comments, some people kind of say they're Croatian, but actually Pamela she's still part of Feminem, isn't she? She's from Bosnia, and Ivana, that's not a member of Feminem anymore, she was from Bosnia. Both of them born in the land of Bosnia and Herzegovina. Yeah, I think this song is iconic. We all know this song, right? We all love this song. So I've got this song in at third. I love this song. And shout out to Andre, who I mentioned in my Croatia video, the songwriter of this song, who's an absolute legend. And yeah, watch this space in regards to him, because I'm going to do a video dedicated just to him as one of my favourite songwriters of Eurovision. He's behind this song. I was a bit nervous about what I'm doing, because like I said, there are a lot of apartments close to each other, and no doubt people are listening, and at this point I think people have been like, what is he doing? But I think when this song came on, I'm sure people have been like, oh, great song. This song has over 8 million views, so just to kind of highlight how massive this song is then and now. And actually I think if you did a poll of everybody, their favourite Eurovision song from Bosnia, I think this probably would top it on average if you speak to a plethora of people. I did see in some of the reviews, this song is described as Bosnia's Romeo and Juliet. It's about faraway love. You know, if you're a Eurovision fan, you don't even need to Google the songwriter of this. It just sounds like Zelshko, right, from Serbia, who has composed some amazing songs of Eurovision for himself for Serbia. Yeah, what I quite like about this song is I watched the music video, and now I've been to Bosnia and Herzegovina. It features a lot of Bosnia and Herzegovina, particularly Mostar, which I quite like. And yeah, there's so many things in the comments. I mean, 8 million views, no doubt a lot of people have left comments under the video, and a lot of people have said it's the most beautiful song in Eurovision history, and I can see why people would say that. And I've just realised I recognise those backing singers. The two on the left, they're part of Beauty Queens. I've just noticed that. They were backing singers for Molotvar, at least the one on the left was. I might be wrong, I think I'm not wrong. Hari is an amazing vocalist, and when he sings that Lejla at the end, it's amazing. In my previous videos, the particularly one I did from Croatia, I just banged on about how great traditional instruments are in songs, and it needs to come back at Eurovision, and obviously we've got this in this song in abundance. It is a beautiful song. For me, it's not as high as others, and I think people will be quite shocked or maybe even annoyed that I'm not crediting this enough, but I've got this song in at fifth, and it's only because the songs above it, there is a meaning to them, the personal meaning that I have. For this, I acknowledge the song is amazing and it's great, and actually I'm really happy I've revisited this song. I'd kind of forgotten it a little bit, and I totally credit this song. But yeah, it's fifth for me. So I didn't realise that she was 17 when she did that. That is crazy. I'd completely forgotten this song. I'm not gonna lie, when I came to revisit these songs, I was like, what is this song? So she had the difficult job of actually opening up the show. She was first on, and she was 17. If you watch this, the whole thing is amazing. She sings like an absolute pro, and I was really surprised to find out that after this, she didn't really do anything. I don't think it was a case of her trying and the world not wanting it. I think she just gave up music and did something else. Because I'd completely forgotten about this and I've revisited this, I think for me this goes down as one of the most underrated Balkan ballads. And I think this is the year of Molotvar, isn't it? So I can see why maybe I did at the time have this one on the side. Look, it's simple, it's traditional, it's heartwarming. She gives a flawless vocal for a 17-year-old. It has a fantastic melody in that chorus. It really does grip you. It's not as powerful as Mollet Bar, and I think, like I said, that's probably one of the reasons why I've forgotten about it. And yeah, just listening to this song in 2007, you do feel, I miss Balkan traditional ethnic music. And this is when it was popular, right? This was when it was on top. These were good years for Eurovision. I love a Balkan ballad. Oh, where did I put this? Shane. I put this in 8th. I think this is a strong effort. I actually really like this song. Right, I understand that people love this song. I get that. I never did. I will say, I think it's aged well, actually. Listening to it now in 2022, if you listen to it, it's almost ageless to a point. It has aged really well. It doesn't sound dated. I did see in the comments, which I thought was quite good or funny, Johnny Depp and Helena Bonham Carter have seen better days. Yeah, I've written it. It still sounds fresh. It still sounds modern, and yeah, it's endlessly entertaining. And someone did say in the comments, which I thought was quite funny, I was trying to explain this to my friend the other day, and honestly was beginning to think I dreamt it. But no, there really were 4 women in wedding dresses, and a woman hanging up her washing, and a guy in a laundry basket. Yeah, this really did happen. It's not high up there for me, but I know for some people they absolutely love this song. I've got this song in at 13th. I thought it was a bit annoying, but yeah, like I said, it's quite good the fact that this song has aged quite well. It does sound even modern and current today. Just never resonated with me, and it still hasn't. I've got this song in at 13th. I actually had to come in because it was too hot outside. Yeah, so let's carry on. So let's just first of all acknowledge the fact that the bassist that you saw there, Dennis, I think his name is no longer with us. He's passed away, which is obviously such a huge shame. I didn't realise that the lead singer of the band actually left in 2021, so last year. Yeah. Which is also a huge shame because I actually love this song and I really, really liked this band. They seemed really, really cool. I think the song itself is beautiful. There is this soulful, melancholic feel to this song. And that kind of, for me, infamous, that shot around 2.5 minutes where they make, a kind of a still. Some people could say that that is a nod to a homage to some very infamous, famous war image, the silhouette that they make. I think this song is massively underrated. I remember in 2009 thinking that this was going to be really, really strong in regards to being extremely competitive. And 9th isn't anything to be sniffed at, being British. I'd take 9th any day. I think even today, this song for me, everything about it in regards to how they staged it, its orchestration, I think it's a masterpiece. I really, really do. And when I said at the beginning of the video, I genuinely meant it when I said that some of my favourite songs of all time come from Bosnia and Herzegovina, and this is one of them. So for me, this is my second favourite song from Bosnia and Herzegovina at Eurovision. I think it's amazing. I really, really do. And it was one of my favourites in 2009, and I think it's probably aged better than maybe some that I was rooting for more than this in 2009. It's just an iconic song. It's a masterpiece.
This is the time to melt the ice off our lips.
Yeah, I think if I go back through my channel and look at some typical phrases that I've overused, I think one of them is, I don't like rock songs. Yeah, this is 2010, so this is Manga from Turkey, right? Now that's a rock song that I actually quite like. So I always kind of think, because I don't like rock, that if I kind of can get on board with a rock song, then that says something about that song. This one I don't like. I'm not a fan. Look, I think his vocals are good, and actually I think the backing vocals are good, and the guitar solo is a nice moment in the song. I just feel... I said it about 2008 in regards to about how that song sounds timeless and hasn't aged. I think the good thing about rock songs is they too don't seem to age. So actually revisiting this one still feels quite fresh and current, but just doesn't resonate for me. Sorry, never did and still hasn't. So I've got this one in at 16th. Your love in real life. Just 1, 2, 3 songs of mine. 100 worries of mine. And love. I absolutely love this song. Like, Sixth, again, should not be sniffed at, but I just remember having this in my mind as like an outside favourite, and wouldn't be surprised if it kind of took the crown. But let's acknowledge, it does suffer the number 2 curse. It did perform second, didn't it, in the final? But then to come 6th, performing second, says something great about this song. Look, I think he backs up his 1999 performance with basically proving he's a fantastic songwriter. I don't really know his back catalogue, but I know some people who do that say that he is a wizard when it comes to songwriting. And like I said when I was talking about him in 1999, he's an icon in Bosnia and Herzegovina. He lives in Sarajevo actually, and I met a guy in Sarajevo, Muammer, really, really nice guy, and he was saying how on Eid he owns or has a mosque in Old Town in Sarajevo, and he will give money to, I don't know necessarily if it's just boys, but anyway, Muammer was saying that he doesn't like Dino because he turned up and he was the only one not to get money. So apparently he would give, was it 10 marks if you were by yourself, and would give 20 marks if you were with someone else. And Muammer was on his own, and Dino said to him, "Where's your brother?" Muammer was like, "I'm on my own." He was like, "Bring your brother next time." Move on. So yeah, so from that, Muammer's not been able to move on from that. Look, this is one of my favourite songs of all time. It just gives me a smile every time I listen to it, and obviously when I watch it, it becomes even more infectious in regards to just giving you a sense of happiness and warmth. This is my favourite song from Bosnia and Herzegovina. I think this song is legendary. I said for 2009 that was a masterpiece. This is something else. I wouldn't say it's more of a masterpiece or a masterpiece. There's just something just hypnotic about everything about this song that just makes me really happy. I love it. This is my number 1. Can someone just confirm something before I start talking about Maya? Is Maya the backing vocalist on the keyboard? Because whoever the girl is on the keyboard looks really similar to Maya. Now, let me listen to it. In my head I'm like, that sounded okay, but I'll watch this when editing my video, be like, Shane, that was so horrible. In regards to my voice, not hers. First and foremost, let's just credit her. She wrote the lyrics, composed the song herself. She delivers a near perfect vocal. The song itself, both the lyrics, how she sings it, and the orchestration is emotive, and she delivers it with tenderness. Tenderness. She does. But I remember not being crazy about this at the time. So it was in the same semi-final. I wasn't sure when I did my Croatia review ranking. And when Croatia didn't qualify in 2012, and I thought at the time, I was like, I swear that was in the same semi as this. And to be honest, with both of them, I was like, I thought Croatia would have it over Bosnia at the time, but Bosnia crept through 6th. That's not even creeping through, Shane, that's solidly through. I remember not thinking that much of it at the time, but actually revisiting it, it's actually not a bad song, and she does deliver it with tenderness. It's actually quite a nice song. It is a quite nice song. And I think particularly when I was watching these songs back to back, I was getting to 2012, obviously with the acknowledgement that soon we're going to get to the last song that Bosnia's ever sent, which does add an element of sadness to a sad song. I've got this in at 10th. I did read a comment saying, I think had Maya been big in the Balkans, this song might have done better, because I don't know how many points she picked up from the rest of the Balkan countries, but she was an unknown going into this in regards to because generally, particularly around this period and before, if you were representing one of the Balkan countries, you would be known in other countries, and she was an unknown. It's nice. Harmless. Make it up my lyrics. Ljubav je sve što imamo, svako bira svoj grijeh, jedno drugom praštamo. I remember in 2016, this wasn't necessarily one of my favourites, but I was really rooting for it because I understood how difficult it was to get this song to Eurovision in regards to Bosnia and Herzegovina had been out for a few years, and so I knew that this was a real gamble and a real risk for Bosnia and Herzegovina in regards to the financial side of things, because they have come out on multiple occasions and say the reason why they are not there is due to money reasons. You know, knowing that they've been out and they were coming back, I thought for the future in Bosnia and Herzegovina, I kind of hope they do qualify, because that will then come across as a good investment. So I remember when it didn't, being like, that's a real shame. Will we see Bosnia and Herzegovina at Eurovision again? The answer to that is no, we have not. I did see in the comments, but then this year kind of means that it's not true. Someone noticed Ukraine wins every time Deen competes. But obviously Ukraine won this year and Deen was not there. I know for some people the staging was a bit confusing, and I've seen in the comments when that's been mentioned, people have been very quick to be like, well, that says something about you, doesn't it? I'm sympathetic to some people who say that maybe they don't get the staging. Not that the staging's horrible or anything, but there's obviously a theme that probably does run with the lyrics, but because the lyrics aren't in English, it might be lost on some people. Yeah, it's just such a shame it didn't qualify, because that's evidently the reason why we've not seen them back. It's not cheap to do this whole package and send a whole package to Eurovision. I kind of don't really know much about Dalal, but she really does sing really well, and at the end she does this really nice smile, she's really happy. So if Bosnia and Herzegovina was to come back, it would be nice maybe to showcase her as a soloist, possibly. Yeah, I mean, listening to this song and knowing this is the last one, it does make me miss Bosnia and Herzegovina in the contest. It's just watching this, Deen just oozes professionalism and he just gives it everything. And actually the celloist, is that a cello or a viola? Viola? Anna is her name. She gives it everything as well. She delivers full energy. And something that I hadn't properly clocked at the time, and probably someone will say it's not true, so I'm just taking a comment on its net worth without actually fact checking it. Someone said that this was the only song in 2016 that was in a Balkan language, which is interesting. I really like this song, but then I do like particularly revisiting these Balkan countries and their slow songs, a slow Balkan ballad. I've got this song in at 7th. I think this is a good effort from Bosnia and Herzegovina, and it's such a shame it's been their last one. So yes. So those are my thoughts. Please let me know what you think in the comments. So yeah, I'm currently in my 5th country, and then I have one more country, and then I have to go back to the UK for a birthday, and I'm really worried I'm going to go back to the UK and not being able to fit in any of my clothes. At some point I'm going to have to stop eating and drinking,
not today. If you're still here and you have not subscribed to my channel, please do click the notification button so you're informed if and when I post videos. And yeah, until next time, stay safe.
Think of it.